Thank you, Ernie. A festive atmosphere in the city of brotherly love. The Sixers in the playoffs for the first time since '91. Sixers president Pat Reggie providing the Croce look to fans, shading their heads to show their love for the home team. It was a Sixers block party right up until game time. And a capacity crowd, better than 20,000 at the First Union Center as we close in on Game 3 of the best of 7 Eastern Conference semifinal series between the Indiana Pacers and the Philadelphia 76ers. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert along with Hubie Brown. And Hubie, despite all the enthusiasm here in Philadelphia, this is a Sixer club in a hole. They're down 0-2, and a team that lives and dies off the exploits of Allen Iverson. Will they live or die here tonight?
Well, let's face it, tonight, the 76ers need an all-star performance from Allen Iverson. He's been frustrated in games 1 and 2. Sure, the 29 points are there, but how about 27 shots? Now, you cannot shoot 37%. They need him over 45% tonight. Now, in the first series with Orlando, he had 6 assists a game. That's down, and also the steals from 4 to 1. Now, when the Phillies are on their game, they are in the open floor. Steals, forced turnovers, and blocks. They need the easy basket. Two big questions. Can they hurt Indiana on the offensive boards and also get to the foul line? Let's see what happens.
All right, and in both Indiana victories, they blew sizable leads, which upset Larry Bird. Now, is it of significance that they won by only 4 and 3 points?
No, I don't think so. I think Bird is just happy it's too low. And you do not care whether you win by 1 or 30. This is a talented team, playoff experience, and they're ready to explode. You can see the points. It's almost 4 a game, but the shooting percentage, a wash, disappointing with Indiana. Now, they're hurting the Sixers in 2 areas, the three-point shooting and also the domination of the rebounding. Can they continue to come in with only 13 turnovers? Because if they do, they force Philly into a half-court game. And then we know that they have the luxury of the very talented bench. They come with 5 guys who can start for a lot of teams. Should be a great one.
All right, this crowd is pumped. Reggie Miller has been hearing the taunting for the last couple of minutes. Coming up, Game 3 of the best of 7. Allen Iverson and his Sixers hoping to get back into the series. We'll be right back.
It's the NBA on TNT tonight. It's the NBA on TNT tonight. It's the NBA on TNT tonight. Yeah.
Back in Philadelphia, getting set for Game 3 of this best of 7. The winner of this series will play the winner between the New York Knicks and the Atlanta Hawks. The Knicks had a surprise up 2-0. While here the Sixers hoping to get back into it, trailing the Pacers 2-0. We're set for the introduction of the starting lineups. Let's go to the public address and Matt Cord.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to meet tonight's participants. First, the Indiana Pacers. Head coach of the Pacers is Larry Bird. And now your Indiana starters. A 6'7" forward from St. John's, number 17, Chris Mullin. A 6'11" forward from Clemson, number 32, Dale Davis. A 7'4" center from Marist, number 45, Rick Smits. A 6'3" guard from St. John's, number 13, Mark Jackson. And a 6'7" guard from UCLA, number 31, Reggie Miller. Philadelphia 76ers. Head coach is Larry Brown. And now your Sixer starters for tonight's game. A 6'5" forward from St. Louis, number 21, Larry Hughes. A 6'10" forward from Wyoming, number 42, Theo Ratliff. A 7'1" center from Georgia Tech, number 52, Matt Geiger. A 6'3" guard from Michigan State, number 20, Eric Snow. And finally, a 6-foot guard from Georgetown University, number 3, Allen Iverson.
Well, this building is, would you say, nearly on fire?
It's close. And you're right. The first one that popped, you and I just jumped a half-inch off our seats.
And we'll be back with the opening tip in a moment. Back at the First Union Center, here are the Home Depot starting matchups. Indiana with their usual starting lineup, and Philadelphia once again going with Larry Hughes, which means George Lynch will come off the bench, and here we will see a variety of people defending against Allen Iverson.
Well, he's a handful. We know that, Marv. Larry Brown's main concern, can they control Mark Jackson so he does not pick the press and the traps apart? The other end, Larry Bird, concerned about the open floor, the transition defense. We must hold them under 20 fast break points.
And Larry Brown telling us that he cautioned his team just before, because we're going to have this incredible atmosphere here at home does not mean that Indiana will be rattled. They are accustomed to pressure situations.
But let's face it, you cannot get to the Eastern Conference Finals 3 times in 5 years and fold under this type of pressure. This has happened to them on many occasions.
Well, the Pacers turned it over on the first possession, as you saw the officials, Joe Crawford, Eric Stafford, and Bernie Fryer. And the Sixers want to see Allen Iverson get going early. He had the bad first half in game 2, 1 of 12 from the field, and turned it on and came on in the fourth quarter. This is Snow. Ratliff lost out to Iverson, and he is able to hit on his first attempt.
See, at your basketball camp, that's how they teach passing to the top of the circle.
Smith's not able to handle that pass. So it's 2 possessions for the Pacers and 2 turnovers.
Yeah, Ratliff right now is having difficulty seeing, whether it's the smoke in a gym where he got popped in the eye.
Snow gets it out to Iverson. And rebounded by Mullen. Reggie Miller, who heard the taunting right from the start of the warm-ups, but he loves it.
Only the great one gets taunted, Marv, and especially at playoff time, he can get to the next level.
And Mark Jackson, who, as Larry Brown was saying, is the major concern of the Sixers, is able to score the first field goal.
Well, if you notice, the trap was late, and anytime you do that, Mark will just shoot up over the top of Iverson.
Smith's jumping out on the double. Geiger. Shot clock at 6. Kept alive by Ratliff. And the Sixers lead 4-2.
Now, this is a strong suit for the Sixers. They are an outstanding offensive rebounding team. Year in the year, right at 16 a game.
Rick Smits. Oh, serving up a facial right at the start.
Anytime that you use his man, you can see right now to trap on the sideline. They're going to get him the ball at the top of the circle, and he will attack.
Smits got off to the slow start the other night and then finished strong, leading the Pacers with 25 points. Iverson off the hesitation move. Yes. Sixers lead it 6-4.
Well, it's interesting early. They're playing him straight up. They are not trapping. They're going to stop the other guys.
Davis with the tip. Davis with the tip. And the game is tied at 6.
I see the building. They just took the breath out of him. You cannot allow him to get 3 attempts. You got to foul him. Put him on the foul line if you think he's going to get that easy basket, because he's a horrendous foul shooter.
Dale Davis, 14 rebounds. The other night, Iverson got off step.
Oh! That was the Matador defense by Mark. He just blew by Jackson.
And the Sixers now lead at 8-6. Iverson, 3 of his first 4. Here's Mullen, and he draws the foul.
Now just keep an eye on this move. Watch him fake inside and go baseline. See, Mark is looking for the trap. Mullen was late coming from the other side.
And now Mullen to the line. Foul committed by Larry Hughes. Chris Mullen, one of the best foul shooters in the game, always among the leaders. Although Indiana had its problems at the line down the stretch the other night. Those missed free throws really cost them in the fourth quarter.
Well, Marv, it was so unexpected. You're talking about a team that shoots 79-6, so you're talking right at 80%. And for an experienced club to fold like that, totally unexpected.
Game tied at 8. 3 minutes gone by. Iverson going behind the back and then giving it up. Here's Snow. Yes. Sixers lead by 2.
Snow's a handful because he can hit that shot to the top of the circle, and he's excellent on the penetration down the lane.
Oh, Iverson got kicked off, but it was Smits who went down. Miller off the fake for the 2. And he's tied the game at 10.
See, I like Hughes running at Miller that time, because by going at him, he took the ball fake, and Reggie left the 3 and stepped inside for a 2.
Iverson from deep. Larry Brown would prefer that he not shoot the 3, only 28% from downtown during the regular season.
Yeah, and also during the playoffs, Mark, in this game 1 and 2, he's now 1 for 10 in threes.
Another Pacer turnover.
Pretty.
Hughes. Oh, he could not finish.
They got to get back.
Indiana 3 on 2. Jackson. And the Pacers lead at 12-10.
See, that's where the Pacers get you. They're not quick in the open floor, but they'll run it back at you, and they have guys who can finish in transition. You cannot sulk when you blow an easy shot.
First time Pacers have led both clubs shooting well. That was intended as a backdoor for Geiger. Here's Jackson, stopped and fouled by Snow. The blocking foul on Eric Snow.
Now just keep an eye on this. Good move. Strong. Okay, now you didn't get it, but you must get back, because Mark Jackson, he can finish. And if you come and pick him up on the break, he makes excellent decisions.
Philadelphia 76ers have won 10 straight on their home court. That goes back to the regular season. Beat the Pacers here twice, 17-8 at home during the regular campaign. Mullen, crowd wanted a traveler who got it down low to Smits. Rick Smits showing the confidence, had difficulty in game 1, came out firing in game 2, and then hit a shot.
Well, Mark, the interesting thing to me is during the playoffs, he's only been averaging 8 shots a game. In this series, 20. He leads the club with 20 attempts.
Ratliff. So Theo Ratliff's hit a couple of short-range jumpers, and the Sixers trail 14-12.
I think Larry Brown's happy because they're starting to pass the basketball around to other people.
Jackson for 3. Iverson, 3-point territory. Now puts moves on Jackson. Beats a couple of Pacers but could not hit. Whipping by Smits, but kept alive by Hughes. timeout called by the Sixers, just as Iverson was putting the ball between the legs.
Marv, you got to like it because they're getting what they want. Plus, they're also on the offensive glass. You're looking for good things in the next 3 quarters.
Welcome back to Philadelphia. Marv Albert along with Hubie Brown, and we're joined on the sidelines by D. Lynham. Let's go to D.
Marv, Hubie was mentioning how the Sixers have come out passing the basketball, something they didn't do in the first half of Game 2. As a matter of fact, at halftime of the last game, Rick Mahorn thought his teammates had played so selfish, he decided he would tell them that, and he delivered a very candid, inspiring halftime speech. I think Hubie would say coaches appreciate sometimes someone else having to be the bad guy.
All right, thanks, D. Yes, Rick made his point at halftime the other night in Indiana.
Well, he took on the front court people. He thought that what they needed was a little more intensity and also a little bit more physical play. Now, that players will take it from another player in that situation, but there must be respect, and here they have the respect from on.
Foul was committed by Smith. Iverson took 3. And Smith's on the box out of Tyrone Hill, who checked in for the first time.
Now here's the press down the floor. Now they're coming on Mark Jackson. Now you got to keep an eye on him. Oh, they missed Smith. He was open early.
And that was picked up on the mismatch by Snow. We're just under 6. What a shot by Miller. That was just barely in the building, and then the block is made.
I was going to give it from the mezzanine, but I like the building better.
Open shot for Hughes. And again, Smith with the rebound, and the elbow landing on the nose of Ratliff. Miller fired. And last touch by the 76ers.
Now, Indiana was off to a very good shooting. They were 6 for 9. And right here, you're going to see a second shot attempt, but a great block by Ratliff. At the other end, Rick Smith, as he rebounded, caught Ratliff right on the nose. And he is definitely smarting as he came down to this defensive end of the floor.
And on the inbounds, Reggie Miller able to lay it home, and he is fouled. Fouled by Iverson. A quick inbounds by the Pacers, and they now lead 16-12. And here's Miller, the best foul shooter in the NBA, completing the three-point play. So the Pacers have the biggest lead of the night. They're up 17-12 with 5 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first. Hughes lost the dribble. Recovered by Hill.
He must get to him on the perimeter.
Miller for 3. Reggie Miller from downtown. And Indiana leads 20-12.
Right now, you have to understand, Indiana has been only shooting 41 to 42% in games 1 and 2. They're on fire right now, and these young guys have got to start taking better shots.
Iverson again off the mark. Smits has been controlling the board. That's his 5th rebound. So much for the crowd effect. Indiana obviously not affected here at the start. Miller off the fake, meeting Iverson. Back come the Sixers.
Come on, you've got to get advantage of. There you go.
Smith stepped out. It'll be Philadelphia ball.
Hey, Marv, what's missing for the Sixers are the 3-on-1, 4-on-2s. We have not seen that yet. Everything that they're getting is basically a matchup, 3-on-3, 2-on-2, and they have not been able to get the uncontested layup.
Antonio Davis has come on to provide a rest for Rick Smits. Iverson checking the jersey. Crowd getting impatient. Hughes beating Mullen off the dribble and then rejected by Antonio Davis.
Well, you have to love it. The Pacers are looking great early tonight. As soon as I say that, they throw the ball out of bounds. Joey Crawford thought that he was going to take a two-handed set from out of bounds.
And so the Sixers get it back. That's turnover number 4 committed by Indiana. Just under 4 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Here's the double. Miller coming over. Snow with the open shot. Yes.
Now Now that is not a normal part of Snow's game. He only attempted 21 during the entire season, but it's there for them. Oh, there you go.
Off the deflection, another Pacer turnover. Ratliff putting a series of moves on Dale Davis. Antonio Davis, here's a 3-on-1. Miller, not able to shoot, good hustle by Hughes. Mullen does shoot and hits the three. So the Pacers now lead 23-15.
Now everyone, you're sitting out there and you're saying you got to get to Miller. You cannot allow Miller to take the three. Well, Chris Mullen was second in the league in three-point shooting at 47%, and he is on the other way.
And a 20-second timeout called by the Sixers. So Miller with 8 points, Mullen with 5 here in the first quarter. And a timeout is called. They've extended it to a full. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to the First Union Center, Philadelphia. The Indiana Pacers with a 23-15 lead on the Philadelphia 76ers. Indiana has come out shooting 9 of 16. The Sixers pumping the shots up at just 7 of 20. Allen Iverson said yesterday that tonight he'll play desperate early. He says we're waiting until we get 13, 14, 15 points down, and then we start playing. We cannot do that. Sixers did come out with a flurry, but the Pacers have the lead.
The Sixers are not a good shooting team, Mark. They only shoot 41% during the year. And they're showing us that in this first quarter. They are getting plenty of good looks at the basket. They just cannot make the shot. That's why the fast break opportunities are so necessary for them, because there they get advantages and they get layups. Now in the early going, Indiana doing a good job. Why? Because they're not turning it over and they're shooting a high percentage.
Iverson trying to give it back, deflected out by Miller. 8 on the shot clock. It will be Sixer ball. They have Snow and Iverson at the guards. Hill with Geiger and Hughes up front. Matt Geiger, incidentally, playing with a touch of the flu. And it's questionable as to whether we will see Aaron McKee survived by that bruised thigh. Shot clock running down. Iverson had a force and hit.
Sometimes he's almost better and shoots a higher percentage if you're right in his face, unlike that last opportunity.
And here's Dale Davis. Tyrone Hill with the rebound. Pacers by 6. And Iverson bottled up and foul. Iverson streaking along the baseline, and Bernie Fryer makes the call. Foul committed by Mullen. That is his first, so Iverson to the free throw line.
Well, Marv, you love his, the fact that he's such a tough hombre. He averaged 10 foul shot attempts a game during the regular season. In the playoffs, he's getting to the line 10 times. Now, when you look at his body, 6 foot, 160 pounds, that takes a lot of wear and tear when you're getting hammered by big people night in and night out.
Yes, listed at 6 foot, what, about 165 pounds?
Maybe.
Yeah. Dripping wet, as they say. Oh, Matt Geiger was right there. Antonio Davis able to make the play. Travis Bess's check in as Miller fires and hits again. A line drive 3 this time, and the Pacers open up a 26-18 advantage.
Yeah, now this is bad because he is on fire from the get-go. And when that happens, it's usually a big night.
Reggie has 11 points. Iverson for 3. Allen Iverson from downtown, and the Pacer lead is now 26-21. Try to trap Best. Dale Davis for Antonio Davis. And the tip. Iverson on the run. Oh, Snow was out of bounds. He was out of bounds before he caught the ball.
You know, you always tell players, when you're running down the floor, will you please stay inside the three-point line? If you're inside the three-point line, when you stop and you make a catch and you step back, you'll never be out of bounds. But he ran down close to the out-of-bounds line, Mark, and that's it. See, because they had a nice break. It was a 3-on-3. Something good could have happened there.
And as you saw, Jalen Rose coming on for Chris Mullen. Allen Iverson will get a rest. Never a popular move in his mind.
Well, he leads the league 42 minutes a game at playoff time, over 45.
Jalen Rose, who had that sensational game 1 against his former club, call us away from the ball. Crowd enjoying the fact that Reggie Miller hit the deck on that foul.
Now keep an eye on Reggie coming on the baseline and watch Geiger get him here. Now you're going to see this, you see. Now that is uncalled for, and they're lucky that they didn't nail him. Now you know if you're coaching Philly, that was called for because you do not want him coming off and getting you with another 3.
Foul on Geiger, his first, and another foul on the 76ers. With a minute and 16 remaining. McKee is called on the foul, so Aaron McKee seeing some action despite that bruised thigh injury, and there's a man watching things very closely. Rod Thorne, Vice President of the NBA, man who is known by some as the czar of discipline.
Yes, indeed, and was an outstanding player at the University of West Virginia, a great pro player. Started out with Seattle, was in the league a long time, a coach in the ABA and NBA, and also a general manager at Chicago.
Well, with the Sixers over the foul limit, Miller able to hit on both, and it's a 28-21 lead for the Pacers. And here's Aaron McKee. Kept alive by Tyrone Hill.
Oh, what a play.
An emphatic rejection by Antonio Davis. Jalen Rose. Rebound, Dale Davis, and foul. He was hacked.
In my opinion, the most disappointing thing to me is the fact that Indiana is out energizing the Sixers. And we know if that continues, Indiana will have an easy night. This is just a great block. The inside people for the 76ers are not playing with any type of explosion. They're making catches, they're getting open shots, but in traffic, no explosion.
Well, Dale Davis, who has improved his free throw shooting up to 65%, not able to hit on that first. Upcoming, the NBA on Turner, resuming Sunday night, 8 o'clock on TNT, Game 4 between the Jazz and the Blazers, and then Monday night on TBS, Knicks and the Hawks in Game 4 from Madison Square Garden in New York. 45 seconds left in this first quarter. Indiana by 7. Sixers with the ball.
Now McKee has a very deep thigh bruise, and he missed a few ball games. They're hoping for that he can give good minutes to rest Snow.
And Joe Crawford says foul before the shot attempt against the Pacers. That is their first in the final 2 minutes of the quarter. Dale Davis called for it, his first. Iverson is back. Half minute left in the quarter. Aaron McKee actually hurt that thigh again in a collision with Reggie Miller back in game 2. Jalen Rose called for the foul, so Indiana now over at the limit.
Now in the stand-up, Marv, we made a point about can the 76ers get to the foul line? During the course of the year, they were third best in the league, right at 30 foul shot attempts a game. In this series, they've been only shooting at 23 a game. Now for them, they need that. They've got to get to the line because they need the easy point.
And George Lynch, who once again is coming off the bench tonight, not able to hit on his first. Philadelphia now 1 of 3 at the line. That's it. There's Sam Perkins, who's had the hot hand right through the playoffs, starting with the series against the Bucks, a 3-game sweep by Indiana, and over the first 2 games against the 76ers. So the Pacers lead by 6, down to 25 seconds left in this first quarter. Perkins looking for help. Best being watched by Snow. Just a 1 second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Best working it down. Best able to slip through. Final seconds. Lynch coming way short as his first quarter comes to a close. So after 1, they're in Philadelphia, led by Reggie Miller with 13. Allen Iverson with 12. It's the Pacers 28 and the Sixers 22. Back with the second quarter in a moment. Well, after one quarter, Pacers have a 6-point lead on the Sixers. Marv Albert along with Hubie Brown and Dee Lynam. And Hubie, you made the point earlier that you're surprised that the Sixers have not come out with great energy in this first quarter.
Yeah, I think the front court, they're being dominated, and it's telling on the glass. Indiana winning the rebounding, 5 offensive boards. Right now, the Sixers, no fast break points, but they're still hanging. You know, they're only 6 down. But in order for them to get out on the break, you have got to stop Indiana from pounding the glass, get the rebound, and get it out and make something happen.
Second quarter underway as Aaron McKee handles against Jalen Rose. Matt Geiger up front with Tyrone Hill, George, Lynch. Backcourt of Iverson and McKee. They try to trap Iverson, and a reach-in foul is called on Antonio Davis.
Now the shooting at the end of the first quarter, Philadelphia 36%, Indiana 45.
Sixers just 9 of 25 from the field. Iverson 5 of 10 and attempted 3 from downtown. Hit 1. Iverson whipping by Perkins on a beautiful setup for Geiger. So Iverson with his 3rd assist, which is a good sign.
Oh, that is a good sign. And you can see he's having a good night shooting. It's the rest of the people that have got to step up here, Mark.
So the Sixers within 4. Derek McKee just checked in at the start of this second quarter. Sam Perkins open for 3. Just did graze the front rim. And they'll jump it up.
When Allen Iverson is on the move, he can make the play. This is just a beautiful look, a pinpoint pass for Geiger to finish. But Geiger, Ratliff, Hill, they've got to get some explosion into their game where they start playing with authority in the paint.
So the Sixers control the 10. A minute gone by in the second quarter. Game 3 of the best of 7. Sixers looking to cut it to a 2-1 Indiana lead. The winner will face the winner between the New York Knicks and the Atlanta Hawks. And how about Latrell Sprewell? Back-to-back 31-point games. The Knicks with that commanding 2-0 lead, and the series now shift back to New York.
I think the biggest shock last night was the fact that the Atlanta starting unit only shot 25% and the team 29 for the game, Mark.
And Derek McKee with his first field goal. Pacers now lead 30-24. Jalen Rose on the chest of Allen Iverson. Matt Geiger lost it.
Look out.
3-on-1. Here's Best. Too easy. Travis Best with the open lane.
That's what I mean. See, the inside people right now, the inside people, Indiana outscoring them 13-6. And on the boards, how about 11-3? Front court to front court.
Iverson trying to explode off the dribble and comes up short, but he was fouled by Travis Best. Travis Best, with only his first foul, he has committed 22 fouls in 70 minutes in the postseason coming into tonight. We'll be back in a moment. Indiana matching its biggest lead of the night. Earlier, Sixer coach Larry Brown telling us that he's been here since 3 o'clock this afternoon. Could not wait until the game began. Hubie, he was home reading a book to his 4-year-old son, LJ, a book on the solar system. And he said he felt he had enough. Now, something you can relate to.
No, he even went out in the driveway and played a little one-on-one. But it's kind of, all coaches go through this. And he would rather be in the building. He was interviewed by I don't know how many people, and it was like a long stream, like the long West Point gray line, okay? And he just needs his ball club right now to loosen up a little bit. It has to happen at the defensive end of the floor, but we have not seen that yet. Fast break points, 10-0, Indiana.
Pacers now lead by 7. 2.5 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Derek McKee putting moves on George Lynch, who played him well, but McKee still able to hit.
You cannot play a guy better than that. George Lynch, you know, chested him all the way and challenged the release.
Geiger, guarded now by Antonio Davis. Lynch. It is not happening offensively for the 76ers.
No inside game, no post up, even no in the paint off the dribble. Nothing is happening. Now keep an eye on this. Now you're going to see Drudgeland's chest up here, and he just challenged the shot, but Derek McKee, 3 inches taller, long arms over the top.
Larry Bird going with 5 players off the bench. Out of the Dean Smith blue team playbook.
Yeah, but this is kind of a nice group of people.
Oh, yes.
Night in and night out, they really do it to you. In 47 of the 55 games, they have outscored the opposition's bench. They get it done.
Jalen Rose, a man who has been getting it done this season against his former coach, Larry Brown, not able to hit there. Pacers up by 9. Iverson fires for 3 again. And that is not what the coaching staff wants Allen Iverson to be doing, popping up 3-point shots.
Well, they can handle that as long as they get to the offensive glass.
And a foul on Snow off the mismatch, trying to guard Antonio Davis.
Good foul by Snow. Snow was pinned behind Antonio Davis, and he knew that a dunk was coming, maybe on top of him. That was a smart foul.
Pacers with Best and Rose at the guards. Perkins up front with Antonio Davis and McKee. They isolate Rose with Snow, and he takes advantage.
Yeah, very tough matchup there. Jalen Rose has got plenty of inches on Snow, probably 5 to 6.
And the foul committed by Best. That is his second.
See, Rose is just playing here, moving himself inside to get his high percentage shot, and you look at that and you say, well, where is the double team? They're tentative tonight because of the potential 3-point shooting on the perimeter of Indiana.
Look at that stat here. They start 6 of 11, the Sixers, and the last 11 minutes, 4 of 18 from the field. The turnover leading to the 2-on-1. Best lost it. Here comes Iverson.
Gotta get one now.
Slowed it down to nullify the break. Iverson. And back comes Best. Another 2-on-1. He has Rose. Good exchange.
Pretty.
And the Pacers with a 13-point lead. You can hear the groans from this disappointed crowd. Another timeout is taken by Philly.
Well, Indiana doing a great defensive job, holding them to 1 shot. Then they are looking for the break. The wrong team is fast breaking here this evening.
Tonight, the First Union crowd was treated to a very special national anthem performed by Bruce Hornsby and Branford Marsalis, and I am now joined by Bruce. Bruce, we know you're a Grammy Award-winning artist, but a lot of people don't know you're a good friend of Allen Iverson. How did that happen?
Well, a lot of people don't know that I have 2 boys that are coming down here right here.
Wearing their Iverson jerseys?
They want to be on TV. Allen and I are from the same area, in Tidewater, Virginia. Actually, we played in the same league, about 20 years apart.
Is it true that I heard you took them one-on-one once?
Wow, who told you that?
I heard you say it.
You'll have to ask him. Yeah, we played one time years ago, and we had a great day of playing, and I used to call him up for a couple of years after that and mess with him about the day we played.
Very good. Enjoy the rest of the game with your sons. Marv?
All right, thanks, Dee. Yes, Bruce Hornsby, an NBA fanatic, grew up in Williamsburg, Virginia, near Allen Iverson's hometown of Hampton.
Well, one of his early hits, he used people from the town, and they went and they paraded through Blow Gym at William and Mary College on the basketball court, and that was one of his top ones at the time. He was in the top 10 with that number.
Jimmy, I know you have all the CDs. Carry him around. Yeah. That is very impressive.
Starting out at the college level as an assistant at William and Mary, I was impressed that he would do it in that little gym. It only sat 1,500 people. He brought in all the townspeople, and they were on his first one. That was nice.
He kind of influenced you to move away from the metal. Pacers lead 38-27. 5 minutes gone by in the second quarter. And again, the Pacers do it on the offensive glass.
Wearing them out, Mark. They're just wearing them out on the glass at both ends of the floor. Fast breaking at the defensive end and pounding on the offense.
Geiger on the recovery cannot hit. And it will be Sixer ball.
See, I like the game plan of Indiana, and that is anytime that we get a turnover or rebound, we're running back at you. You're supposed to be so quick, but we know that Iverson is going to be in the lane, 4 on the board. So if we can get it out and go, we're going to have you every time, and it's proven true.
Open shot for Iverson. Indiana now leads by 11. Iverson has 15.
No help from his friends, though, Mark.
6 of 13 from the field for Allen Iverson. Best lost it. Here comes Lynch. Geiger rejected by McKee.
See, the big men are frustrated. You can see it. You know, they cannot believe that they're getting so many shots blocked 1 to 2 feet away from the hole.
Shot clock at 7. McKee passed on the shot. Antonio Davis. Beautiful fadeaway pop. His second field goal, he has 4.
That was very unselfish of McKee because he had a wide open shot, but he looked down inside and thread the needle, made a beautiful pass.
And Rick Smits, Mark Jackson getting set to come on. A very impressive performance by the Pacer bench for the most part in the second quarter. Lynch. George Lynch able to hit, and the Pacers now lead 42-31.
Well, as Iverson is coming back defensively, Mark, he's yelling at his guys, let's go, let's go. And all they need is to just get them confidence. He's hesitating.
So important for Geiger as he hits right there to get into it. He often this season has been the second scorer to Iverson. That's obviously been a problem for the Sixers to find another scorer.
Oh, that's a very good point, Mark. And when he has big nights, he's capable of a 22 to 25 point night. They need him because Ratliff is always going to be questionable, and then Lynch on the perimeter. Now tonight, Indiana, they have stopped Hughes and they have stopped Lynch.
Pacers by 9 late second quarter. Hubie, again, the story for Indiana, the play of the bench.
Well, just look at this. This is what they get every night. And how about the field goal percentage and then also the foul line attempts? So you know that that is a productive unit that's out there right now.
Perkins with the second opportunity. Rebounded by Link. And you know, the Indiana bench has played the entire second quarter until moments ago when Smits, Miller, and Jackson checked in.
Now Larry Brown just exited Geiger. Now Geiger played 15 minutes without a rebound, but we do know that he potentially has the flu here. He was sick today and missed the shoot around.
Tyrone Hill able to keep it alive. Iverson.
Nice.
Beautiful feed for Ratliff.
He's having a great game, Mark. I mean, he's scoring points. He's making assists. He's doing a good job on his man. The rest of the guys have got to step up. They're playing totally subpar. They're only down 7.
3.5 left. First half, Reggie Miller on fire. Miller has 15 and sat out most of the second quarter.
Reggie, you could see it. He had it from as soon as the game opened up, he was looking for the 3.
Oh, Iverson off the beautiful lob thrown by Snow.
Now that was a beautiful back screen on the left side for Iverson. That was totally planned for the lob.
So the Sixers showing some signs, down by 7. Last touch by Miller.
Excellent defense by Ratliff. Anticipated the down screen, shot out and deflected that right off of Reggie.
Aaron McKee checking back in, replacing Eric Snow. Snow sits down with 7. The only non-starter on the floor for the Pacers, Jalen Rose. With just under 3 left, first half. Iverson with the running.
Pretty.
And here's the pressure being shown by the Sixers, handled by the Pacers.
Oh, you have to stop the ball.
And a foul called on Hill.
You cannot allow a big man to dribble a basketball from half court all the way down to the lane and get a potential shot. You must intercept him at the top of the circle and force him to make a pass.
Now Dale Davis to the line. Dale, one of many players who has been helped by the so-called shot doctor. Is that something you believe in?
Well, you know, yes, I do. And you know, he works at it. He's had different people come in and work with him in the summertime. He comes back, and then he shoots right in around that 50% year in and year out. But nobody is questioning the work ethic. He comes with the lunch pail on the boards and the shot blocking.
Well, hit 1 of 2 this time around. Pacers now lead 45-39, 2.5 to go in this first half.
McKee's got to close the gap down here. The passing lane is too wide.
Iverson. And back comes Jackson. Bothered by Hughes. Miller. Got to take a push.
Got to get up and push.
Miller overplayed by Iverson. Now Iverson putting moves. Beats Jackson off the dribble on his foul.
That's what you love to see. Now Iverson got popped in the eye there, but you love to see him take it because when he takes it strong, you saw the 2 shirts rotating right to him. Now watch as he blows by. Here you have 2 other guys pick him up. 3 defenders are occupied. Other people are open.
Foul on Dale Davis. Allen Iverson with 19 points, trying to shake off that poke. He's 2 of 4 at the foul line. Allen Iverson has virtually single-handedly kept the Sixers in it in this first half. Coming up on the AT&T halftime report, Milwaukee Bucks coach George Karl joining Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith in the studio. They'll talk about our first half and then look ahead to tomorrow's game between the Spurs and Lakers, the Jazz and the Blazers. So Iverson now has 20 points. The Sixers have 40 points, and they're down by 5 with 1:40 to go in this first half. Shot clock at 6. Down to 3. Miller for 3.
That was an air ball. That did not catch the rim.
Iverson. Got corner of the crowd, but able to give it up, and Ratliff threw the foul.
Any time that he's going baseline, Indiana rotating perfectly and cutting him off, not giving him a shot attempt, but he is finding the big man. As long as they continue to get to the front of the rim, he's finding him. Now keep an eye right to the lane, in the lane. Now as he leaves his feet, just come to that area because it is there for you. He's delivering the pass right on the money.
Theo Ratliff, a 73% free throw shooter. And Geiger is back. Larry Hughes sitting down. George Lynch on the floor up front with Geiger, Ratliff, and in the backcourt, Iverson and McKee. Well, the Pacer lead is down to 4. They've led by as many as 13.
Now, Sixers are now 7 for 12 on the line. Big thing is they are getting there.
Smits off the double, lost it. Iverson on the run. Iverson could not hit.
Can you believe this? Can you believe this?
This a 3-on-0 breakaway for Miller.
That's what we talk about in the NBA. Anytime you miss a dunk or you miss a layup, it's incredible how the opposition scores within 3 to 4 seconds. And you notice what happened there? All 5 white shirts were below the dotted line. Indiana 3-on-0.
Iverson for 3.
You have to be careful here. You have to really be careful here.
Rose for 3.
We got a 3-on-2.
Iverson again from downtown. Allen Iverson continues to shoot the 3 unsuccessfully. He's 8 of 20 from the field overall in this first half. 1 of 5 from three-point land.
That's good basketball. Marco, he'll back him down. The double team comes, he'll try to pick it out.
With the teardrop, not able to hit. Final seconds. And it's Dale Davis again on the offensive board. Sixer players just looking at each other off that last rebound. Here's McKee. It's too late. Would not count. And that's the end of the first half. So the Sixers had a run going, a 12-3 advantage, but it was spoiled in the final minute.
As poorly as they're playing, Marv, they cannot get anything to happen other than Allen Iverson. And right now, you're only down 8. You know it's within your grasp. You can get it done here.
Reggie Miller, the high man, for the Pacers with 17. Allen Iverson with 20 points. And as Hubie mentioned, just an 8-point lead for the Pacers at the half. Ernie Johnson in our studio with a couple of good friends of his in a moment. Come back to the First Union Center in Philadelphia. Game 3 of the best of 7 of the Pacers with a 49-41 lead on the 76ers. Marv Albert along with Hubie Brown. And Hubie, looking back at this first half, Allen Iverson certainly turning it from the 7 for 28 the other night in Game 2. But the shooting, not what the 76ers had in mind. 8 of 20 from the field, 1 of 7 from three-point range.
Yeah, he's struggling, but he's making things happen. He's got a nice assist game going, but the rest of the team only 30%. Now you can see what he's doing here. The 20 points, the 8 for 20, the 1 for 7 in threes. The assists are there, the steals are there. His energy level, but what he has to do is transfer it to the front court people. Now, the fast breaks, how about this? Indiana, 14-1. Never would have expected that. The bench, yes, you can expect that because the bench is so productive. At the other end of the floor, how about the rebounding? You got to love the Pacers tonight. They're out here with a mean face and a purpose, but yet they are still within striking distance.
All right, and moments ago, Dee Lynam caught up with Sixer coach Larry Brown.
All right, outside the Sixers locker room with Coach Larry Brown, the stat that comes off the board is their 14 fast break points. What do you do differently there in the second half?
Well, we took a lot of, long jumpers and had bad court balance when we did shoot the ball. So 14-1 on fast breaks is terrible, especially, when we made them turn it over 11 times. Usually when you create turnovers, you get fast break opportunities. But and then we didn't manage the clock the last minute and a half. You know, we're down 5 with the ball and give them a breakaway on a 5-on-0 break, basically, and didn't take a foul when we had a foul to give and allowed Davis to get an offensive rebound. So we just made some mistakes, but we got to do a better job on the board, and we got to do a better job in shot selection. You know, 10 3-pointers for us is not in our best interest.
Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Marv?
All right, D, and the season very much on the line here for the Sixers in this second half, with Game 4 coming up Sunday here in Philadelphia. They do not want to be down 3 games to nothing.
Right now, Marv, we know that Iverson is carrying this ball club. We know that the team as a whole, outside of him, they're 8 for 30, you know, and we're talking, they're struggling. We all know that. But Hughes, Hill, and Lynch right now only have 3 points between them. And we're talking about 3 major contributors in the point department. They have got to step up. Geiger, 0 rebounds in 17 minutes of play. Got to turn it around. You get down 0-3, it's over.
And here's Geiger going glass. They get the second half underway, so the Pacer lead is now 6. And the Sixers going with pressure on the inbounds.
Now, this is the first time that they've been all out, full court. Let's just see what happens. They're not looking for the trap.
Mullen with Smits and Dale Davis up front. Jackson and Miller at the guards. And Joe Crawford calling the foul on Geiger. That is his second.
Yeah, that was a silly foul. Down already inside of 10 seconds, and Geiger just grabbed the offensive player who set the screen.
Mullen being played by Hughes. Larry Brown staying with Larry Hughes opening up the second half. Will have George Lynch come off the bench for Jalen Rose. Oh, look out, a foul on Rattler.
Yeah, they catch him. They cut him. He definitely, Bernie Fryer caught him with the leg, the horsing out with the leg. Now just keep an eye on it as he goes to back him down, as he gets him right there. Boom, see, he caught him with that right leg. That's an automatic foul.
And that's the first committed by Ratliff. Second team foul in a hurry by the Sixers. Jackson posting up. Oh, Snow able to get to that loose ball.
Now you got a 5-on-3.
Left a couple of paces behind. Iverson gets inside. It's a 4-point Pacer lead.
When he laid that up, 2 defenders finally came across half court. Now this is what you like to see. This is what the building would like to see. But do not give up any layups.
Mullen open for 3. And again, it's Dale Davis getting another possession, but the turnover leads to the 4-on-2. The lob for Hughes, and he was fouled by Jackson.
What an acrobatic catch. Now, come on. I mean, that was acrobatic. He caught it with the left hand and was able to get. Now, keep an eye. This is just a bad pass, but a great recovery.
Larry Hughes, the rookie out of St. Louis University, 20 years old, just turned 20 back in January. First round pick. He was the 8th overall selection. Played only a year at St. Louis. Was a consensus All-American. Breaking the Billiken single season scoring record. And here are the Sixers right back after trailing by as many as 13. It's a 2-point game.
Yeah, I like this much better than waiting until half court. Come down the floor, chase them, and then force them to exhaust time off the clock.
And a defense from the crowd. 5 on the 24. Mullen for 3. And it will be Sixer ball.
There you go. Sometimes when you play the Sixers, you're a little reluctant to go for the all-out press, Marv, because when you press and trap, you're opening up Miller and Mullen, 2 of the best 3-point shooters in the league. But right now, Mullen has missed 2 in a row.
Geiger, not a good shot, but he's tied the game at 49. First time that this game has been tied since it was 10-10. Dale Davis backing his way, and that was too easy.
Well, he's just too strong in the upper body. You know, that time, now Ratliff is a nice size, 6'10", 6'11", long arm, but the thin frame. Davis can outmuscle him. Oh, right there. Davis took a pop on Ratliff as he was cutting the post up.
And that's 3 on Dale Davis, who has been a major factor here once again tonight.
Well, you go at him, and even if you get him in foul trouble, I come in with Antonio Davis, and some people would rather have Dale Davis. It depends upon your brothers.
So the Pacers lead at 51-49. We're early in the third. Geiger with a foul called on Smits, and that is his third.
We do not need a slow motion replay of that, because Geiger was doing that by the numbers. And the fact that Smits fouled him is kind of almost unbelievable.
I thought we were watching the slow motion replay. Geiger, 80% at the line during the regular season, and can tie the game once again. Oh, the steal by Hughes, but he stepped out. And it will be Indiana ball. Looks like the Sixers have picked up the energy here in the third quarter.
Well, I think by design, Larry Brown is just saying, you know what, I'm not going. Oh, there's another.
Iverson off the steal, Mullen with the block, and Hughes in midair trying to hit that shot. Brown thought he was fouled. Smits. And last touch by the Sixers.
Larry Brown already down on the baseline, hoping for a call.
Indiana gets the new 24. Chris Mullen calling out the play.
Here comes Reggie Miller around a stagger screen.
Miller for 3.
He's beautiful tonight.
With very little room, able to get off the quick release. Miller now has 20. He's 3 of 5 from downtown, and the Pacers have a 4-point lead. Iverson tripped up by Smits, and that's 4 for Smits, who has had a very quiet night.
Now you have Smits with 4. Go right at Dale Davis and get him with his 4. They should go right at him.
And here is Antonio Davis replacing Rick Smits. Smits had the big game Tuesday night in Indianapolis with 25 points. Iverson got the step, and it's put home by Hughes.
Well, Hughes is not going to be discouraged by that last collision. See, I like it. Take them down the floor, make them work hard and labor. The shot clock is going down. Force them to really get off a quick shot.
Ratliff on the rebound. Hughes able to save that outlet. Hughes going at Mullen. Oh, Dale Davis with the one-hand grab. That's rebound number 10. Here's Jackson. And a foul.
Good defense by Snow. Snow shot the gap that time. He thought he came up with a clean steal. Joey Crawford had the foul. Now this is just a strong move. Look to the left of your screen now, and you're going to see Hughes come right in. He is very, very effective running the baseline on missed shots.
Looked like Eric Snow lost a contact on that last collision, picking up the foul as third, and for the 76ers, their 13th foul. Pacers have 4. Aaron McKee has come on for Eric Snow. Mullen for 3. Yes. Well, Chris Mullen had been quiet. Pacers now lead by 5.
If you double team on the wing, and then they throw into the post, that's going to open up Miller or Mullen in the opposite corner, Marv. It's there by design.
Mullen 2 of 3 from the field, all from 3-point range. Here's Hughes with a three that is way off. The 76ers, a very poor shooting three-point ball club. Jackson, and it comes to Antonio Davis. Mullen dribbling right to Matt Geiger, and it's knocked away, knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Geiger.
Matt Geiger cannot run into any rebounds this evening. You thought that that ball was going to be an easy possession. He got bumped in the back, and unfortunately it went right over the top of his head. We'd like to show you the trap on the wing. Now you can see right here, they're trapping Mark Jackson. The man runs into the post. The defender comes across and plays. As the ball goes into the post, watch what opens up. Chris Mullen is by himself. Now that's by design. Now just see, they have everyone on that side. You can kick out. Mullen and Miller have been making them pay all night long.
The Sixers with the first 8 points in this third quarter. Able to tie the score at 49. Pacers, though, going on an 8-3 run since then. And lead by 5. Mullen. Well, Chris Mullen contributing 5 points in this third quarter, and Indiana now leads 59-52.
Yeah, I like that strategy. Post Mullen on the mismatch, and then let him take it. Naturally, Chris got the benefit of the balance.
Hill draws the foul. 6.5 remaining in this third quarter. And for the Pacers, it is team foul number 4. Foul called on Antonio Davis. That is his third. So Tyrone Hill to the line, just a 54% free throw shooter during the regular season. Well, coming up, the NBA on NBC tomorrow, beginning at 2:30 in the East with Showtime, followed by the Jazz and the Blazers. That'll be game 3, starting at 3 Eastern. And then the Spurs and the Lakers, game 3 at about 5:30 Eastern time. Tyrone Hill missing on both.
Tyrone Hill does not have a point. Lynch only has 3, and Hughes only has 3 to 4. So right now you can see they're struggling up front.
Joey Crawford quick to say a non-shooting foul. It is on Aaron McKee. Although Reggie Miller did a pretty good job in getting the release to try and draw the shooting foul. So they get the new 24.
The down screen to the right for Miller. Good call. They are not going to allow anyone to mug a player who is coming off of the screen. And they have been consistent all night tonight. And just keep an eye on this now. See, they're not going to let him grab him. And you can, McKee hooked that arm and then held him.
2 quick fouls on Aaron McKee, and Reggie Miller adds to his point total, 21 for Miller. It's been a solid all-around performance once again.
Well, during the year, Reggie will always get to the line 5 to 7 times. But at playoff time, especially as you move through the round, he will get his production up to 8 to 12 a night because he runs so hard off of the screen. But he picks his spots during the year.
Hughes, and again the foul. Now both teams are over the limit with 6 minutes left in this third quarter.
Now Hughes, he's making things happen. He's getting good looks at the basket, but nothing is going down with any consistency.
Sixers have missed their last 4 free throws. You see Larry Brown suffering. Indiana 61, Philadelphia 53. They go back to the pressure.
Anytime that you pressure, you always have to work the hardest on the point guard because he's the one that they'll clear out and allow to back down. Now, right now, we're inside of 10 seconds.
Mullen fires the 3. Chris Mullen with 13 points in 17 minutes of play.
Well, you just love it. You know, Larry Bird says all we want Chris to play is like 16, 18 minutes, but we want him to shoot every single time that he gets his hands on it.
Iverson setting it up for Hugh. And Hubie, as you know, Chris Mullin, one of those guys who never complains about the playing time, understands his role and has...
Mark, during a career, 5 years he scored over 25 points, a 6th year over 20. You know, he was always on the All-NBA team year in and year out. And it's nice to see that he's got a great role here.
Oh, and he's feeling it.
Is he ever?
Indiana up by 11, 15 for Mullin, 10 of the 15 here in the third quarter. And again, the crowd very quiet.
Well, nothing has happened. See, there's nothing smooth.
Ratliff rejected by Antonio Davis. One on the shot clock. Aaron McKee, a big bucket. 1 second on the 24. It appeared Indiana had made it stop, and then McKee hit the jumper. Indiana by 9.
See, they're smart here now. They got a mismatch down inside. That's what I like about that.
Mullin. Rare miss from Mullin here in the third, and a foul is called.
Anytime that Indiana gets a mismatch down inside, they'll go into the post, and when you double, they'll kick it right back out. Now here you're going to see Mullin. They're trying to front, but he's on fire right now, and there's no one better on that mid-range jump shot on the baseline.
Tyrone Hill was called for the loose ball foul. Dale Davis back to the line. It was 1 of 4. Mullin and Miller have accounted for Indiana's last 15 points. And a timeout is being called with 4 minutes and 8 seconds remaining. In the third, it's the Pacers 66 and the Sixers 57. 20-second timeout is called.
Well, you can see it's a leg injury. And this is one player that they cannot afford to lose. He is their consistent shot blocker, 3rd in the league in shot blocks. Now, this does not look good.
Theo Ratliff hobbled off during game 1, hurt his ankle, but came back.
Well, in that first half, Mark, he was the only consistent front court player. He had the 7 points, 6 rebounds, had a shot block. Now just keep an eye on it. Now you're going to see as he runs out, he jumps, but then as he comes down, he catches his knee and leg on Mullin's leg.
Ratliff looking shaken up as he sits on the bench. Did not need help in heading off the court. Matt Geiger has checked back in, and Dale Davis continues to have his problems at the line. Four minutes, 8 seconds left in the third. And the Pacers now lead by 10. They've led by as many as 13 as they work on the leg of Theo Ratliff.
Marvin, the last three minutes here, you know, Philly definitely struggling. Poor percentage shots, and Iverson has not been in the mix. Well, there you go.
Allen Iverson answering the Hubie Brown call by drilling one, and the Pacers now lead 67-59.
Well, during that period, you know, they were tied at the one time, and all of a sudden they fall behind with big numbers. He was not touching the basketball. Everyone else was attempting shots and not high percentage shots.
Iverson has 24. Here's Mullin for 3. And a loose ball foul against the Pacers. So that'll put the Sixers at the line. Foul on Antonio Davis. 4 on Antonio Davis. 4 on Rick Smits. 3 on Dale Davis.
Now the pressure's on to make some foul shots here, because in spite of everything, you hit your 2, you're right back within 6, and now let's see what will happen in the last 3.5 minutes. Can you wear them down and then continue that into the fourth quarter? But the Sixers still must pick up their energy, Mark, because the point guard, even though you're pressing, and they're making their move with 9 and 8 seconds to go. The defense seems to let up, and then that's when Indiana hurts them.
Sixers now 12 of 21 as a team at the line. Oh, and it's kept alive by Lynch, and he was stripped.
Good steal by Mullen.
Sam Perkins is back up front with Dale Davis, Chris Mullen, Mark Jackson, Reggie Miller in the backcourt. Mullen lost the dribble. Iverson, the intended receiver, but stolen by Miller. Mullen open.
And get it out. If you get it out, you have to look. Iverson has been open up that left side time and time again, but you have to look up.
Iverson. Yes, there you go. And it's back down to a 5-point game.
Get that little fella into the scheme of things.
That little fellow now has 26 points. 2.5 remaining in the third. And we're told that Theo Ratliff is suffering with a cramp in the leg and should return. Oh, Mullen lost it, then recovered. And a kickball is called on Mullen.
Yeah, that was an excellent call by Joey Crawford.
Larry Bird wants to talk it over. The Pacers lead is cut to 5. Back in Philadelphia, the Sixers, down by as many as 13, have cut it to 5. Only 7 teams have come back from an 0-2 deficit in a best-of-7. The last to do it, the Houston Rockets against the Phoenix Suns back in '95.
And you can see that the Celtics and the Blazers were able to get to the NBA Finals. Now, they do not need a miracle here. They are within striking distance. It's here for them, but they just have to pick up their secondary defense once Indiana gets the ball to the top of the circle.
Iverson. For Geiger. Yes. I like that call, Hubie.
Yeah.
We're just under 2.
We just want to make you feel at home.
Oh, you got to let it out. That was well done. Pacers by 3 and the foul.
Bad pop. Hill just took a forearm and leveled, laid it really into the chest of Reggie Miller. Beautiful pass once again by Iverson, threading a needle and then sending it down for the big fella Geiger. He needed that, the front line needed it, and the people in the building. There's that pop by Hill. See, that's unnecessary. You're putting the guy who's only shot 91% on the foul line.
And that stops the 7-0 run by the Sixers. Derek McKee, Travis Best check in for the Pacers. Both teams have been over the limit for the last 5 minutes. It's a 68-64 Indiana lead, and we extend once again to the 5-point margin.
Yeah, you always have to remember when you're young players, you know, who are you fouling? Reggie Miller led the league, number 1, 91.5 for the season, attempting 7 a game during the regular year.
Lynch. And one-handed by Derek McKee.
Yeah, excellent defense by Indiana. Definitely pushed him out of his range, especially for a jump hook or a desperation push.
Now Travis Best working on Allen Iverson. Geiger came over to help, but Derek McKee right there. 6 points for McKee.
You cannot gamble from the rear on a post-up player and expect to get a steal. And all that did was it broke the defense down and gave them an easy shot attempt.
Well, Snow lost it. And Miller by himself. Well, the Sixers with the good push, but Indiana able to regroup, and they have a 9-point advantage.
Same thing right before the half. They got it down, fell asleep for the last minute and 30 seconds, and the same thing has just happened here. Now they are brushing off some water or some sweat down in the lane, so we do not have an injury.
And the see fast break points. Indiana 16-3 over Philadelphia. Geiger on a pull-up. 40 seconds left in the third. Geiger running out to pick up Best and is called for the foul.
You think of the last 3 fouls, Mark. The 3 fouls were silly fouls because you were right there within striking distance, and all you're doing is putting them on the foul line. They are the #1 foul shooting team in the league, right at 80%.
Travis Best, also an excellent free throw shooter, 84% for the season.
Well, Mark, they're the only team in the league. They have 8 guys shooting over 80. Now, you do not see that in modern-day basketball. Most teams, if they have 3 or 4, they are very, very happy. They have 8 guys who play. We're not talking about guys who are sitting on the bench.
Right, the only guys under that mark, Antonio Davis and Dale Davis. So the Pacers now lead 75-64 as this third quarter closes out. Good look from Hughes to find Ratliff, who apparently is all right as he hobbled off earlier this third quarter. We're down to 10 seconds remaining of the quarter. Down to 5. Rose checking the clock. We're down to 3. Derek McKee. Perkins with the tip. And that's the end of the third. So after 3 here at First Union Center in Philadelphia, the Pacers with a 75-66 lead. Indiana with an 8-2 run to end matters here in the third. Well, the Sixers with a run midway through the third had tied the game, but Indiana with a good finish, leading by 9 as we head to the fourth. Indiana Pacers had what they admit was a very disappointing regular season. High expectations for this club, but they finished strong. They win their last 4 of the regular season, and including the playoffs, they have now won 9 straight games coming into tonight.
Well, they're hot, but earlier people were really discouraged because they were 15-14 with teams over 500, and then they were 7-8 in games decided by 3 points or less. So they were not winning the close ones, but now they seem to have it all together now that Derek McKee is back and he is in good health.
Well, the fourth quarter is underway, and once again, Larry Bird going to the bench, so effective in the second. Wow, Perkins unleashing, and McKee tried to save it. Out of bounds, so it will be Sixer ball.
Now, in that third quarter, they completely forgot about Allen Iverson. He only had 4 shot attempts. He made 3. He has 26 for the game. But you have got to get him involved. You've got to stop going away from him. You know, he can make things happen for you, and he keeps the people in the building in the game.
Foul on Derek McKee. It's Snow and Iverson at the guard. Ratliff up front with Lynch and Hughes.
What I like about Iverson tonight is showing us the overall. He can make the pass, and he's just picked out guys for beautiful layups.
Ratliff with the jump hook. And Perkins on the rebound.
Big factor in the game, Philadelphia cannot get a second shot. We're talking about a team that averaged right at 15 a game.
Travis Best try to fire it back out after he beat a couple of Sixers off the dribble. So Philadelphia gets a break as they get it back. Indiana Pacers hoping to go 3 up in this best of 7. 76ers desperately trying to get the 1 win to cut it to 2 games to 1 with game 4 on Sunday. Iverson, Lynch with the rebound and fouled again. McKee picks it up.
Well, one of the very few offensive rebounds for the Sixers in this half. And what you like, all the fouls are going to add up. You're going to get yourself into the penalty in a hurry. Nice.
Oh, nice give by Snow to set up Hughes. And the Pacers now lead by 7 with a minute and a half gone by. in the fourth.
I tell you, Hughes is very alive on that baseline. Beautiful pass by Snow.
9 points for Hughes. Rose. Beautiful touch by Jalen Rose. Only a second field goal. He has 4.
That's a tough cover for any of the guards because he is so long and he has the long arms, left-handed. He gets right in there.
And Snow right back. So the Pacers lead 77-70.
They need a couple of defensive stops here. Few deflections or Indiana miss, get the rebound and get out on the break.
Perkins from straight away. Not been able to find the range tonight. Iverson. And the recovery. Good points and the foul.
They've been waiting. Here they come again. This is the 4th time. They look like you're throwing dirt on them and it's going to be all over. And all of a sudden, bam, they're back in action.
The immediate timeout called by Indiana. When we come back, Iverson will be at the foul line. There's Philadelphia native Will Smith and his wife, actress Jada Pinkett Smith. Will has been a regular at Sixer games. Warren Sapp on the left of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Ron Harper of the Chicago Bulls. I think Ron is touring the NBA playoffs. He is the zealot of the playoffs. He is everywhere.
Well, it's nice. He's had a little rest since the end of the year. Now, this young man who's on the foul line right now has played 37 minutes. He has 28 points, 6 assists, and no turnovers.
Completing the three-point play, and the Pacer lead is now 4. Jalen Rose, watched by Eric Snow. Travis bench played by Allen Iverson. The matchup is Larry Hughes on Reggie Miller.
And once again, ringside 8 seconds now. Oh.
And recovered by Ratliff foul. Good foul by Rose, which nullified the fast break with Iverson ready to explode.
I did not think that was a flop. I thought Snow took a charge right in the chest, and I like that fact that it was a no call. Now watch it right here. So you can see he definitely pushes Snow right down to the floor, and then a good foul, a smart foul by Indiana because Iverson was already out of there.
Let's check in with D. Lanham. D.
Well, Marvin, that last huddle, Larry Bird expressing concern to his guys that they've gotten away from pushing the ball up the floor, and that is playing into the Sixers' hands right now.
All right. Thanks, D.
Very good point, D.
Iverson. That was another three-point attempt. Iverson stepped out of bounds. Derek Stafford right there. Good call. And the ball back to the Pacers. Indiana now with 14 fouls, and we played only 3 minutes of this fourth quarter. Philadelphia does not have any team fouls.
That's why we say you get in it early now. If you get in it with, say, 8 minutes to go, 7.5, it's going to help you as we go to the wire.
Antonio Davis.
Now that,
and the foul.
That is a man's move. Iverson gambled, and then Ratliff left his man on the box and rotated up. Boy, you hate to do that. Now just watch Ratliff. See, Ratliff tries for the steal. Look out. Now this is what you love. Send it up strong and down with 2 hands.
Foul on Lynch. Antonio Davis, a 70% free throw shooter.
You love the potential 3 versus 2, Marv, anytime, especially at playoff time.
Well, the Sixers with the ball down by 6. Hughes. And Rose able to take it away from Lynch, recovered by Hughes. And they will reset. Eric Snow directing traffic, finding Iverson open. Beating Jackson, but coming up short.
And Snow was waiting with that pass. Iverson was there and waiting. He should have gotten it to him earlier, so possibly he could have put it on the floor and taken it even into the minute.
And away from the ball, the foul is called. It is on Iverson. Allen Iverson just 1 of 5 from the field in this fourth quarter. Overall 12 for 30 for the game. Had the big fourth quarter in game 2 on Tuesday at Indianapolis after struggling when he won at 12 in the first half.
Well, when you need to expend so much energy offensively and then chase Reggie Miller defensively, you're having a long night here.
And that is now the matchup. Iverson guarding Miller. Shot clock down to 7. Bernie Fryer checking with the outside official Derek Stafford, and they say last touched by the Sixers. And there's 6 on the 24. Rose will trigger it in. Wild pass by Rose into traffic, and they turn it over.
I really enjoyed watching Philly defense. Allen Iverson fought through a staggered screen in order to get to Reggie Miller. Stopped him. Then when they gave it up to Rose, Rose thought that he had the lane. The Sixers rotated, did a very nice job. Now, Reggie Miller just caught this ball from out of bounds. Jalen Rose is coming in. They're going to make the pass. As Jalen dribbles into the middle, watch Lynch level off, Ratliff step back and force another Indiana turnover. This is just good defense, everybody reacting, and then Ratliff was the key as he picked up the free man.
It has been a Philadelphia 76er revival this season here in the city of Philadelphia. What a great crowd. Sixers making the playoffs for the first time since '91. Snow way off on that 3. Kept alive by Ratliff.
Mark, the point of interest here in this city is Iverson was the only player here 2 years ago. Everyone else is new. Larry Brown had to develop all of these young guys. It had to be instant chemistry. The group had to be coachable, and especially to play this style of play. This is a very difficult style of play.
And there you saw team president Pat Croce, who has done an excellent job in helping get the interest going. This even when the Sixers were not winning. Timeout call. We'll be back in a moment. Was able to call for timeout, so the Sixers maintain possession. 7:15 remaining in this fourth quarter, and the Pacers up 79-73. Iverson, played by Jackson, beats him off the dribble, but comes up short. Antonio Davis came out to meet him and affected the shot.
Yeah, I was surprised that he did not drop the ball off. But, you know, it's not the responsibility of the dribbler. It's the responsibility of the guy who's open to create the passing lane.
Mark Jackson, throughout the playoffs, has hit key shots. Has not taken that many, but he's hit big shots, particularly down the stretch, and a big one right there. Pacers lead 82-73 for Jackson at 3. He now has 7 points. Ratliff set up by Iverson and rejected by McKee.
Oh, my.
And Hughes, or rather Lynch, could not hit, but it was last touched by Indiana.
Beautiful pass by Iverson. Now just keep an eye on this, that Ratliff is going up strong. And how about out and on a rotation, a beautiful shot block.
Sixers have not scored for the last 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Hughes off the fake and then nearly palmed it. Oh, the strip by Rose. Ratliff with the recovery. He could not hold on. And back come the Pacers.
Every time that we think they're going to get over the mountain, Indiana makes a nice quiet run, all because of their defense.
Rose eluding Hughes. Well, we've seen this throughout the playoffs with the Pacers swinging the ball so effectively.
Well, they'll make the extra pass. They're unselfish. And a new word today, they trust one another, that you'll make the extra pass, and then they have guys who can finish.
Ratliff was blocked. Foul committed by Antonio Davis. And Theo Ratliff will go to the line.
I have an interesting stat in this game. People are going to see, well, Miller has 26 points, Iverson has 29, because that's all we worry about, our shot attempts. Iverson has taken 31 shots in this game, and Miller has taken 13. And yet there are only 3 points difference between the two guys.
Reggie Miller, very selective with his shots. In fact, Larry Brown, earlier this season when Indiana met up with Philly, pointed out to his younger players, watch the Pacers, the way they play, the way they handle themselves, the way they choose to take their shots. And you can see it, obviously, with Miller and Mullen in particular.
And we look at it, Marv, it's an experienced team. They've been in the playoffs. They've been to the Eastern Conference Finals on 3 occasions. And we know that they will make the extra pass. And the other people are just learning how to play together. Never mind the playoff experience.
Jalen Rose. Indiana now leads 86-74.
So many weapons.
As Larry Bird has 4 of his bench players. Look at 3 now. Miller and Jackson around the court. Here's Snow. Crowd looking for a foul. And Jackson moves it down. Finding Antonio Davis, and he's called for steps.
When you play with Mark Jackson, you have to be alive. Keep your eyes open, because you never know when he's going to put the ball on the money. Antonio Davis was not even expecting that pass, and if he caught it correctly, he had it dumped, because all he had to do was catch it, take 1 bounce and a step.
Antonio Davis with 5 fouls, 6 down. Dale Davis checks back in. Indiana in the midst of a 9-1 run the last 4.5 minutes.
Another strip.
And it's a 3-on-1. Jackson for Rose. And knocked out of bounds by Dale Davis.
Well, as you know, they wear you out at that small forward position. When you have Mullen and then Rose, you have 2 different types of players, and they come in, and majority of nights together, they put up big-time numbers.
Jalen Rose got off to a slow start, but he's hit 3 of his last 4. And the Sixers in the midst of a drought at this point. With 4:25 left, Indiana with the ball and a 12-point lead.
Now, you're not totally out of it. You have to reach back and say, look, we led the league in steals, forced turnovers. We can make it happen.
Mark Jackson.
And you have to believe that.
Yes, the Pacers up by 14. And remember, it is very difficult, obviously, to come back from 3-0 in a best-of-7. We showed you earlier 7 teams have done it. Snow. It counts and the foul.
There's a break. But once again, a bad percentage shot. I like the way that the Indiana front court, they continually cut off the lane. They are not allowing you to get to that rim for an uncontested layup. At least they've done it now for the last 3 to 4 minutes. They do it in spurts. It's not there for the full 48 minutes. But tonight, they've answered the bell here tonight.
Matt Geiger sits down, as does Theo Ratliff. Iverson just 1 of 7 from the field in this 4th quarter. Eric Snow counting for the Sixers' first field goal in nearly 6 minutes, able to complete a 3-point play. And the Pacers lead by 11 with just under 4 remaining in the 4th quarter. And away from the ball, the foul is called on Iverson for holding Miller.
Well, Reggie loves to come across the 2 screens up at the top of the circle, and Iverson grabbed him. You know, that's a number of times this has happened.
Sixers with their 13th foul. Pacers are over the limit. Here's Dale Davis. And a good pass from Derek McKee. Indiana up 90-77.
Every time they trap on that wing, Marv, they run a guy into the post, and also they run a guy into the middle of the lane. They have hit him time and time again.
Oh, bad pass as Iverson got caught in traffic. Here's Miller for 3. Yes.
Are they wearing out that corner, Marv, or what? Oh, my.
And Reggie Miller has 29. So Indiana with its biggest lead of the night, and the crowd beginning to file out. The Pacers 93 and the 76ers 77. Well, stay with us after the game inside the NBA as Milwaukee Bucks coach George Karl, not one who is shy about his opinions, joining Ernie Johnson and Kenny Smith in the studio. They'll have an in-depth look at Utah Jazz forward Brian Russell, and Craig Sager will report from Los Angeles. Allen Iverson not able to do it here in the fourth quarter. We have 3 minutes and 9 seconds remaining, and the Pacers up 93-77. Larry Bird has to be very pleased after seeing his club in the earlier games blow a 13-point and a 17-point lead. Snow able to hit, but here tonight he'll be the Indiana Pacers able to build the lead after the Sixers made a couple of runs.
Well, I think Larry's happy mainly because they played 3 games in Indiana and they won by 3, 4, and 4 this year. They played 2 games in this building. Philly won by 4 and by 10. You know, he was just hoping that he could hold them down on fast break point. Little did he know that he was going to get 20 on the fast break.
And the 76ers come into tonight winners of 10 straight at home. Good play by Jackson to break it up. It'll be Indiana ball, or rather Sixer ball.
Well, this is a experienced team answering the bell with an explosion. And they have been waiting. Chris Mullen told me before the game, we have not played a good game yet in the playoffs. I'm waiting for us to put it all together. I think we've just seen it tonight.
Yes, this by far their best all-around performance against the Bucks. They were taken for overtime in game 2, although game 3 they certainly did a good job of wrapping the series in Milwaukee, but this is a better performance than game 3 against the Bucks.
They've just hurt him time and time again on the left side of the floor in the deep corner.
Allen Iverson taking that inbound pass with his right foot out of bounds.
Now, how about this? Reggie Miller, 29 points, 9 for 14, 64%. Allen Iverson, 29 points, 12 for 32, 38%. That's why we said at the top of the show, they needed him to have an all-star night, meaning shoot at least 45% or better. It just was not in the cards because the rest of the team had a horrendous shooting night.
Rose on the recovery. Here's Jackson with the shot clock running down. And we are down to 1 minute and 45 to go in this fourth quarter. The Pacers on the verge of going up 3-0 in the best of 7. And Hughes is fouled. Larry Hughes to the line. Very disappointed crowd. They have begun to file out. A festive atmosphere hours before the game surrounding the First Union Center, and this crowd rocking at the start of the game, and then during the course of the game as the Sixers would continue to come back, but they have certainly been quieted. Upcoming, the NBA on Turner Sunday night. We resume with the Jazz and the Blazers game 4, 8 o'clock Eastern time, and then on Monday night, starting at 8 on TBS, the Atlanta Hawks and the New York Knicks in game 4 of their best of 7 series. Down to 1 minute and 25 remaining. Pacers in no hurry displaying the clock. Jackson. So Indiana now leads 95-81.
See, they made him pay the price, Mark. Any time that you would get the trap, they rotate the ball into the middle of the floor, break the defense down, and something good would happen.
Iverson for 3. Allen Iverson has not been hitting the 3. That's his second of the night. And the Pacers now lead 95-84. Just under 1 minute remaining.
Yeah, that's smart. You're not in a hurry. When you press and trap, you're looking for the jump shot or the early shot.
40 seconds remaining. Indiana on its way to making it 10 straight wins. It dates back to the last 4 of the regular season. Sixers not able to tip it home. Allen Iverson is 2 of 10 from three-point range. And overall, 13 of 33. Rose with the bucket and the foul. And polite applause from the crowd here in Philadelphia for the 76ers.
They wanted a festive mood. They had it. It started at 5 o'clock, 3 hours before game time. When the teams came out to warm up, the people really greeted them with a thunderous roar, and they continued. But then the Indiana front line just took the steam right out of the engine, and they just dominated up front.
The crowd has been very appreciative of the kind of season the Sixers have put forth. Snow is able to hit, but next season, that's where the expectations will begin. There'll be a little pressure starting next year.
They do not have a first, but you know that they're going to be looking for people in the free agent market, and hopefully they're going to be able to find someone out there that they, you know, they were saying, hey, we might not be able to get somebody on that first round, but maybe our scouts can find somebody, a dark horse in one of the pro leagues overseas, or that to supplement what we already have.
So the Pacers win at 97-86. They go 3 up in the best of 7. Let's go to D.
I'm with Reggie Miller, and Reggie, you guys absolutely thrived off your defense tonight. What made it so effective?
Well, we knew we were coming into a hostile environment. They really have been publicizing how well this crowd really got into the game for the Sixers, and we wanted to come out with a mental standpoint to let our defense do our talking for us. Our offense will come, but if we started with a focal point on defense and trying to contain Allen and make everyone else work, we were off to a good first step.
If there were some who maligned you guys for letting them get back into game 1 and game 2, but you guys staved off every run they made, was it the experience of your team that enabled that to happen?
Well, we hope that is the case, but understanding, you know, this series isn't over, and Larry Brown is really going to have his team focused on Sunday, and you know, it was good to come in here and get the first one because it puts a lot of pressure on them for Sunday's game.
Good luck, Reggie. Thanks very much. Marv?
All right, thanks, D. Reggie Miller, 29 points to lead the Pacers. The winner of this series, with Indiana now up 3-0, will face the winner between the Knicks and the Hawks. They resume Sunday afternoon in New York and Monday night also at Madison Square Garden. High point men for the Philadelphia 76ers. Allen Iverson, 32 with 6 assists, although he did not shoot well at 13 for 33, 2 of 10 from downtown. And Eric Snow with 16 points. Again, the final score, Pacers 97, 76ers 86 for Hubie Brown. Hubie, I enjoyed it.
Pleasure, Marv.
The lineup, Marv Albert saying goodnight from Philadelphia. Coming up after the break, Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, and Milwaukee coach George Karl bringing you inside the NBA. Good night, everybody.